My sister chose ugly friends as her bridesmaid to make herself look better, but it backfired horribly. A few months ago, my sister got engaged and never asked me to be her bridesmaid even though we were really close. I wasn't offended since maybe she only wanted her best friends to be the bridesmaids, but then my sister showed me a picture of every girl she had chosen. I noticed that every single one of the bridesmaids was someone she had made fun of and belittled in the past. In fact, just one day before she showed me the picture, she had been laughing about how one of those girls couldn't run a mile even if a man with a knife was chasing her. All of her actual best friends, the ones she hung out with for years, were only invited as normal guests. When I pointed this out, my sister chuckled and said, "You'll understand when it's your wedding. You don't want people who will outshine you in the pictures." I know it's not my place, but this just rubbed me the wrong way. I replied, "Is that the only reason why you chose them as bridesmaids?" This is when she rolled her eyes and flipped out on me, calling me vindictive and accusing me of being jealous. She said she's allowed to be selfish on her own wedding day, and I needed to stop acting like the party police. I didn't agree, and argued that everyone is allowed to be selfish every single day. It's more about whether or not they choose to do so. Anyway, the main reason I was bringing this up is because I had talked to every one of those girls in the past, and I knew they would be very hurt if they found out the truth. I asked my sister to at least be upfront since this could damage all her friendships, but she brushed it off and left. I talked to our mother about this, and she told me to stop being so serious, and to just smile and wave as my sister gets married. I ended up giving up and doing what they wanted. But then on the actual wedding day, everyone's jaw dropped as they looked at the bridesmaids. Turns out they were so happy when my sister chose them that they had decided to surprise her in the best way possible. All of them had worked on themselves. They had started going to a gym, hired a really famous personal trainer, went on keto diets, and some even booked a nose job. They had also altered the bridesmaid dress behind my sister's back and added some details that made it look super beautiful. The wedding photographer couldn't get enough of them and kept asking for more shots. As for my sister, it's safe to say that she was fuming inside. She had to put up a front and congratulate them on their glow up, but to me it was clear that she wasn't happy. I glanced at a few pictures and sure enough, the bridesmaids were shining brighter than the actual bride, which completely ruined my sister's plan. She finally snapped when at the reception, someone said out loud, "You all look so good that any one of you could have been the bride today." My sister started yelling at them, saying they had ruined her day. She couldn't control her tongue and actually screamed, "I only chose you people since you were ugly and not photogenic at all. You were only supposed to make me look better." She realized her mistake a second too late, and everyone looked at her like she was a ghost. Even her actual best friends, the ones who were invited as normal guests, didn't look too fond of this dark thought. Her reputation was plummeting by the second, but that's not even the worst part. Turns out she had painted a picture of a kind and caring wife to her new husband, who was caught completely off guard with this personality change. He annulled the marriage, and guess what my sister did? She blamed me and our mom for not stopping her in time.